is basically a giant ring, and it goes several miles in circumference. When it goes around, what it is doing is firing particles at nearly the speed of light in opposite directions, so they collide. They burst, and then they can study circumstances such as, the beginning of life, the beginning of the universe. They're looking for information. There's a picture of this tunnel. So when you see this circle going around underground, this is just a shot, and this is what it looks like underground, for those of you that are caring. But outside is a very peculiar entity. It's Shiva. Shiva is this entity that they have outside their facility, and you just wonder, why would they have this? This has to do with the goddess of destruction, the god of all these scenarios, and there's a lot of demonic occultic scenarios attached to Shiva. And this is an interesting thing to have right outside your facility, and making this kind of one of your hallmarks, okay? This is like their brand, Shiva, right outside CERN. Now that's a very interesting thing there, and that has ties to the destroyer of worlds, the destroyer of things. Why would you have that attached to this?
This is the Hindu god of destruction. There's a significant section of CERN that is built upon the Saint Genus Powili, and a temple were dedicated there in ancient times to Apollyon, the destroyer, the Shiva Horus, if you will. Apollyon is also the angel of the bottomless pit, referred to in Revelation 9:11. And then there is a connection between CERN and the Gothard Base Tunnel, the GBT, which is the world's deepest and longest tunnel system. The connection to the Large Hadron Collider has to be made primarily because of the bizarre opening ceremony that was live streamed to the entire world on June 1, 2016, that included this highly occult, demonic dance with characterization, beginning with a call to unite the religions of the world by conducting an interfaith blessing of the tunnel beside a statue of St. Barbara, the patron saint of miners.
So there's a bunch of people, like priests, gathering together. Okay, here they are. Here's the occultic people in robes at CERN, and people say, what is this all about? So there's somebody laying on the ground. There's a bunch of occultic people. Remember, that's Shiva right up front of CERN.
With the LHC, CERN are expecting to find other dimensions and open portals to these dimensions. If you have the image of Stargate in your head right now, you're spot on. That's what he said. Sergio Bertolucci, who is the official director for research and scientific computing at CERN, he was asked a while back about this extra-dimensional doorway, and he didn't hesitate with an enlightening response. He said, yes, out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. Now, prophecy in numerous parts of the Bible refer to a coming day when portals will be opened and spiritual entities are going to pass through and come to the earth. The idea of CERN playing with gateways is a major concern. And what is it with all this mystical symbolism that they knowingly are associating themselves with? Would it be more appropriate for them just to proudly display a polished statue of a particle or some artist depiction of the Big Bang instead of the statue of Shiva?
They were shut down for nearly 3 years or more, especially going into the pandemic and all that had happened. Now they're fired back up, and now they kicked it off yesterday, but they're going to continue these runs and tests all the way into 2024 and beyond, and then they'll shut it down again. There's several scenarios that they're gearing up for. Number one, this is not the only facility like this. CERN is it's kind of the originator, it's what it is, but they're going to build it bigger. Okay, they're going to build CERN bigger over the next few years, and they're going to relaunch it again with an even more powerful and bigger ring under the ground where they fire these particle physics at one another at nearly the speed of light. They're going to make it bigger, it's going to come forward, and you're going to see that happen. Now, in addition to this, China, our friends over at China, get this, they're building their own Hadron Collider, 5 times more powerful than the current CERN we're looking at right now. China. They're building one and working on one that is 5 times more powerful. And I'm going to get to why this is important. Where this could head is the conversation of opening up. Now listen, this is crazy, but it's actually said, not by us, by some of these scientists. What they're considering, what they're concerned about is opening up different dimensions or portals. Happening is when they're crushing out these particles and whatnot, they're giving opportunity to step into these other realms. Now here's the issue with this, or communicate with these other realms. When they're doing this, what is happening is they're talking to things through data, and the data's answering. They've already gone on record saying this, that they're sending information through into other dimensions or other realms, and it's answering them through data. One of the scientists, and a few of them have gone on record and said, it's possible we're going to be able to send something through to another realm through these portals, through math and colliding these things, or something could come through to our side and we don't fully know what that is. Don't fully know what that is. Here's the scary part. It talks about roughly in like Revelation chapter 9 and different places that the bottomless pit eventually would be opened up. And the bottomless pit, the Abusa, okay, the darkness, it says Apollyon, the destroyer, will come up. And Shiva, by the way, that's one of the identifications of Shiva, is that the destroyer will come up from the pit, these things will begin to happen, and then you're going to begin to see basically hell on earth. Hell on earth.
Given these descriptions, is it possible that CERN will have something to do with the opening of the bottomless pit described in Revelation 9?
And so it's interesting how it's as if the entire world has been preparing the masses to easily accept the possibilities of multi-dimensions, right? And contacting entities from parallel universes. I mean, think of it. The highest grossing movies now feature multiverses and portals, making the idea of these things seem normal. Even many toys and games today are preparing our kids' minds to think about dimensions and beings coming through them. Stranger Things. The most popular show on Netflix is about what? Creatures from a dark, hellish dimension crossing over into our world. Through what? Portals that are opened by scientific research. It's as if, by some coincidence, the entertainment world has for the past few years been preparing the masses to easily accept what science is now making possible. It's interesting how we've seen this connection between CERN and the abyss that the Antichrist is said to arise from. Revelation 9:11 says that the angel that holds the key to the abyss is Apollyon, the destroying angel. And we see that CERN is linked to this destroyer goddess. Coincidence? So you can see why many argue that this may be the way satanic physical entities from the abyss realm will come into our realm. Including the beast, who the Bible says will rise out of the abyss. And again, I make the point, if the Antichrist is a man, and if he will come out of the abyss, that means he was once alive, died, went to the deepest region of hell, which is why the angel told John that this wicked Antichrist king once was alive, now is not, but will rise out of the abyss. And so I don't think it can get more clearer than that.